Hello, everyone. Welcome to Yoga Core. This program runs Tuesdays and Fridays at noon through December 20th. I'm Lisa Molly with Monona Terrace, and your instructor is Joe Temte. Joe is here every Tuesday, and Devonna Peters teaches on Fridays. A few reminders before we get started. For in-person participants, please always check in with the greeter at the main entrance for this program's location, and remember to silence your phones. Another note, the escalator going up is closed on the side that you came down, but it is open on this side, or you can use the elevator. Also, there is no class next Tuesday, November 19th. So we will have class this Friday, but not Tuesday, November 19th. All sessions are recorded and posted on the Yoga Core page of the Monona Terrace website. And we have a link above those videos called Class Readings and Poems. So when an instructor shares an inspirational message, you can take a look at it there and read it on your own. Finally, thank you to our sponsor, Friends of Monona Terrace, for making this program possible. With that, I'll hand it over to Joe.
Thanks, Lisa. We'll start standing up today. And just a note about mat placement. You are welcome to put your mats any way you like. If you want to look at the lake, if you're here in studio, feel free to look at the lake. If your mat is long, with as long edge to mine, then you can easily just look over your shoulder and see what's happening. But it works either way. And I will cue right and left legs, right and left arms today. So welcome, Zoomies. Let's start just by placing feet a comfortable distance from each other on the floor. Yeah, and we're going to start with a little movement today. So just kind of rock head to toe, front to back. Just noticing your feet on the earth. And then let your feet turn out and in. Yeah, notice how far they go. How far feels comfortable. Notice if one direction feels more comfortable than the other. And then pick up your toes. You can wiggle them or you can put them down little toe to big toe a few times. Yeah. And then check in. If it feels good to shut your eyes, you can do that. Check in from the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet. Just noticing how you're arriving today. Noticing whatever is getting your attention. Noticing your energy level. Take a second to notice your breath and your body. It might feel nice to bring a hand to your heart and one to your belly. And maybe you're breathing more into your upper hand or more into your lower hand. Just notice that. No need to change anything. If you placed your hands there, switch them. Just notice if this positioning is more or less comfortable than the first one. And then for just 3 or 4 more breaths, either stick with that one or if the first one was more comfortable, go back to that. Isn't it funny how our bodies just kind of know what's going to be most comfortable? Take a second here, something different for here. Notice how your body wants to move. Maybe stillness is calling to you, maybe a little swaying or twisting or stretching or shaking out your feet, anything else. But you do you for just 1 minute here. How are the shoulders today? How's the back? How are the hips feeling? How does it feel to twist? Good. Come on back to center, something different. Shake some water off your fingers. Just shake it off, let it go. Do the same with your feet. Come on back to center. Place your feet about hip distance apart or maybe a little bit wider. We're going to take some hip circles here without letting the legs help. Yeah, and right away we do this, right? Because legs are like, yeah, I got this. Let your legs be pretty still. Bring the movement to your core. Yoga core, right? Notice how much movement you can get, how much range of motion you can get without your legs helping. Switch and go the other way. Good. Switch and go the other way and let your legs help. Some big hip circles here. Shake it out. Nice. And we'll switch and go the other way. All right, let's get a little more complicated. Make some figure eights. Let's get a little more complicated. Switch the figure eights, go the other way. Notice if that worked. Good. Come on back to center. Line up your feet, your knees, your hips. Draw your spine up tall. Bring your hand to your lower abs and pull them a little bit in and a little bit up. Keep your neutral spine. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Yeah, we're just going to let the arms float. Everything else is going to stay stable. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale up. Nice strong base. There's a little bend in the knees. Core muscles are engaged, but we're still able to breathe. Good. Let's change the feel of that a little bit. This time, as your arms come down, root your feet down, press them down into the floor. Draw your kneecaps up. Engage your lower abs again. Squeeze through your rib cage, zip up your rib cage, draw your shoulders back, bring your chin in just the tiniest bit. Take both arms overhead, but with fingers spread wide, and come into cactus. 2 more like that. Inhale up. Come into cactus. Keep your feet rooted down. 1 more. Good. Stay right there. Take a big breath in. Feel your shoulder blades. Exhale. Let that go. Let your legs soften. So we're going to inhale to engage. Fire up the legs, root down into the floor, fire up the belly. Exhale, let it go. 2 more like that. A big inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Good. Let all that go. Float your arms up nice and soft. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. We're going to pull up tall. Yep. And then over to the right. Imagine light shining out those spaces between the ribs on the left. And then as you come up, take a twist over to the left. Leave your belly button forward. And we'll inhale up. Grab the right wrist. We'll take it over to the left. Let the light shine out your right ribs. Inhale back up. Take a twist to the right. Belly button stays forward. Good. Inhale up. 1 more time. Let's go this way first. And back to center. Take that same side twist. And all the way up. And then we'll go the other way. Inhale up, take a twist. Good, and bring your hands back to center. Take your shoulders and circle them forward. Do you see what's going on with my mat? I have not moved my feet, I don't think. And yet the mat is crawling. It's gonna be one of those days. Put your hands on your shoulders. Really let your back round. Maybe let your knees bend. Nice. What happens if we go one side and then the other? Only as much as feels good to your back, to your shoulders, to your hips. And then switch and we'll go the other way. And both together. Nice. Just shake it out a little bit. Come on up to whatever you're going to call the top of your mat. And we'll inhale up, start to move a little bit. Exhale, fold. Hands to thighs, back is round, roll up one vertebrae at a time. And as you get to the top, roll those shoulders back. Yeah, we'll inhale up, exhale, fold. Hands to thighs, roll it up, shoulders back. Changing up a little bit, inhale up, swan dive over. Beautiful. Inhale, come to halfway lift. So hands could be on the floor, they could be on your shins. Back is parallel with the floor. Big inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. One more just like that. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lift, half lift. Yeah, and if you like, let your knees bend, lift your tailbone a little bit more. A bit more sensation there. Exhale, fold, and we'll come all the way up. A big inhale. Good. Bring your hands heart center. Take your right leg and step back. We aren't mirroring each other today. Inhale up. Beautiful. Bring your hands heart center. Let's play with balance a little bit. Make sure your right or your front knee, your left knee is right over your ankle. Send your hands out in front. Keep your left arm right where it is. Let your right arm slide. Go slow. Just notice how it feels. Maybe we come into a twist. Maybe we follow it with our eyes. Yep. And it doesn't matter if you twist it the other way because we're going to bring hands in and we're going to take it to the opposite side. Good. Bring your hands in. We'll inhale all the way up. Frame your foot. Step your back foot forward, forward fold. Hang out here 3 breaths. Good. Let your knees bend, hands on thighs. Roll yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time. A big inhale up. Bring your hands heart center and we'll step back with the left. So we're on the right foot, the back toes, right knees right over the ankle. Take your hands forward. Yep, leave your right hand where it is. Slide your left up and maybe in back and maybe follow with your eyes. And then bring hands heart center. Take a twist to the other side. Nice. Bring your hands heart center. Step that back foot forward. Big inhale up. Let's take it all the way down to the mat. Let's come to all fours. So a little cat cow here. Spread your fingers wide. Bring a little bend to your elbows. Bring your body into the tiniest cat. Nobody can see it. Just turn on the muscles that would take you there. Imaginary cat. Let that go. Turn on the muscles that would take you to cow. And then start to move between the two with a little bit more range of motion. Notice any sticky spots. Notice any places you need to pause or move through in a different way. Good. Come on back, find your neutral spine. Take your left leg out behind you, put your toes on the floor and rock your body back to get a nice calf stretch. And then rock your body forward, let that leg float up. See if you can keep your toes pointing down and leg doesn't come any higher than the hips. It wants to go up here, right? See if you can keep it right at hip height. Add your right arm. So your opposite arm is reaching. Yep. You could stay here or you could do some crunches in. Maybe we'll do about 4. See if you can put your foot back in exactly the same spot. Good. Bring your hand back to the mat. Step that back leg all the way through. I want to come up to a kneeling lunge. Exhale down. Inhale up. Good. Hold your arms up. Bring your left hand down inside that thigh. Take your right arm and just do a little bend over toward your bent knee. Yep. Come on up. Keep your left hand on your knee. Put your right hand inside the knee. Take a twist toward your knee, and if you like, left hand to the sky. Another option being coming to your back toes. And let that go. Gently walk yourself back. Half splits. And we'll walk forward. Come back to all fours. Take your other leg back. So right leg's back. We're going to rock a little bit, head to toe. Good. Float it up. Toes point down. Add your opposite arm. If you like, elbow to knee, exhaling in, inhaling to reach. And one more. Good. Bring just your hand back to the mat. Step that leg forward. We'll come up into a kneeling lunge. Big inhale, exhale, let it go. Inhale up. Good. Hold both arms up. We'll take right hand to the knee, left hand comes inside the foot. Take one of those nice twists. Now we got it. We'll go back and get that other one. No worries. We'll go back there. Take a twist. Maybe the right hand to the sky. Maybe come up to those back toes. Check in, make sure you're breathing. Drop your knee back down. We'll come all the way up. Hand comes around inside of the thigh. And we'll take a bend over to that knee side. And come on back. Frame your feet or your foot. Walk back. Good. We'll walk it forward. Let's come back to all fours. Rock back on your feet, on your heels. Keep your toes turned under. Rock it forward. Lift your knees just a little bit. Send your hips back towards the back of the mat. Inhale, knees back to the mat. Let's do that again. So we'll rock back. You'll stretch through the ankles, the bottoms of the feet. Rock it forward. This time, see if you can lift your hips or your knees 1 inch. Send your hips all the way back, crouching down dog. And drop back to the mat. Good. Walk your hands out just a little bit farther. Come into a nice, comfortable down dog. Let your legs walk. Good. Step your right foot a little closer to center. Take your left leg to the sky. If you like that hip flexor, you can let that knee bend and externally rotate your left leg. If that's not your thing, no worries. Kick it on through. We're going to come up to high lunge. Go slow. This is the hardest part, isn't it? Always the hardest part. Sink it down. Yeah. Turn your back foot out. Here we are with warrior legs. Let's take both arms to the sky. Big inhale. Bring hands heart center. Lace your fingers, send your pointer fingers to the sky, maybe a little back bend. On your next exhale, bring your torso forward. Reach forward with the crown of your head, back with your hands. As you come up, cartwheel up. Find yourself in warrior two. And we know this little bit if we've been here. Take your left hand to the sky to peaceful warrior. And then left elbow to left knee. Take your right hand across the horizon. We've got strong legs, strong core, soft arms. Come back to peaceful warrior. Yeah, just get a little flowy with your upper body. Cartwheel down, frame your foot. Step yourself back to downward dog. Let your legs walk. Nice. Float your right leg up. Maybe let your knee bend and your ankle flex and get a little hip opener here. And then we'll step that foot all the way through. Coming up to high lunge. Good. Sink it down. Turn your back foot out. And we'll be in warrior one. Yep. Even the back knee has a little bit of a bend, right? So we're not locking out the knees. We're using our muscles in both legs. Bring your hands heart center, lace your fingers. Pointing up to the sky, exalted warrior. And then on your next exhale, reach forward with the crown of your head, back with your arms. As you come up, cartwheel your arms around. Right arm lands in front, left and back. We know this. Turn your right palm up, take it to the sky. Beautiful. Left elbow to knee, or right elbow to knee, take your left hand across the horizon. And then just get that flowy upper body. Strong legs, strong core. Moving in a way that feels good to your body. Good. Let's do one more. Cartwheel down, frame your foot. Step yourself back to downward dog here. Let your legs move. And then let's find a child's pose. That could be knees together, knees wide. Could be arms reaching out. Could be arms overhead in prayer. Let your hips be heavy. Just let your body melt down towards the floor. Go ahead and turn so that you're facing forward, and it doesn't matter which direction your mat is. So heads forward, we're in all fours. Take your left leg out to the side. And that could be rocked flat on the foot, or it could be up. We're going to walk our hands around so that we have feet and knees lined up. Left hand to the sky. All right, strong core is going to bring us up. So we have a little spring up. Beautiful. Exhale down. Land softly, control down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Here's an option. You could choose not to put your fingers down when you come down. Let's do one more of those. Good. On the next one, go ahead and put your hands down again. Bring your left hand up to the side of your head. His left elbow is going to reach down. So we just get a little back stretch here, a little shoulder stretch. Inhale, open. Do that a couple more times. Exhaling down or holding the stretch if that suits you. Just notice what your body's needing. Good. Next time you come up, you could leave your hand here on your head. You could bring it to your hip, working into a little Pilates here. Let that leg float up. Know that if anything starts to cramp up, please stop and stretch it. We're going to kick 2 to the front and 2 to the back, keeping everything else stable and trying to keep the foot about the same height from the floor front to back. Good. 2 more like that. And we'll just take a diagonal child's pose here. Let that go. And then go ahead and set up for the other side. So this time we'd take the right leg out to the side. Do what you like with that ankle. We'll walk over to the left, lining up left hand, left knee, right foot. This bottom foot can go wherever it feels good to you, right? And a big inhale brings us up. And exhale takes us back. Control the landing. Inhale up. Good. And option to not put that left hand down. You choose. This time the hand goes back to the floor. And we'll take the right hand to the head and do some little twisties here. Just check in with your upper back. What's holding tension? And when you come back up, that hand could stay on your head. You could come to your hip, and we'll let the leg float. Everything else stays stable as we kick 2 to the front, 2 to the back. 5, 4, 3, last one. Good. And a diagonal child's pose or anything else that works into those tight places. And then just for a little bit here, let's come to sitting. Something a little bit different today. So if you let your knees bend in a way that feels good to you, take your hands back, lift your heart. And on your exhale, bring your arms around, wrap them around your legs. Inhale back. Lift your heart. And exhale. You can wrap around however feels good to you. Work at your own pace. Good. Last one. Nice. And roll yourself back onto your mat. So we'll take it all the way back. If your hips allow, take your feet wide and your knees together. If it feels better to have your feet parallel, that's fine as well. We're just going to let our legs sway side to side. It might feel nice to reach your arms out. Get a little opening through the chest here. and then come on back to center. Let's bring both shins parallel to the floor. A little bit more core work here. Hands to ankles. We're going to reach arms back overhead, reach the legs out, and circle around. Feet can stay high if that feels better to your back, or they can come lower to the floor. See if you can squeeze your ankles together and keep your legs very close. Let's go 2 more. Go ahead and put your head down. Turn your head side to side. And we'll come back up for scissors. So this time, right leg in the sky, left leg down. Left leg gets 2 little pulses towards the floor. And then we switch. Totally fine to leave your head down if it causes too much tension in your neck. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we'll drop it back down. Good. And then something a little different. If you haven't been here before, this is going to feel a little weird. If you put your hands behind your head, cradle your head, this isn't a mistake, take your left elbow to your left knee, reach your right leg long. Take your right elbow to your left knee, take your left leg long. Just go back and forth between those two. Go about 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Drop your head back. Let your feet drop down. Let's shift hips a little bit to the left. Let your knees drop over to the right. Just as far as feels good. Open up your arms wide, palms up maybe. Take your head and look away from your knees if that feels good to your neck. Good. Bring your head straight up, looking at the ceiling. Take your top leg and just shift it open, soles of the feet together. If it feels good, you can shift your hips back a little bit, just a little bit off center. And then bring your feet up, shift your hips off to the right, let your knees drop to the left, just as far as feels good to you. And then come on back to center. Yeah, let's take right leg to the sky, get into the hamstrings a bit before we go, or before we wrap up class. Take your left leg long. You could play with that leg a little bit. Do a little movement back and forth, only as far as feels good. Might play with flexing and pointing the foot. Gives it a whole different feel. Good. Take that right leg, put it over your left leg. You could keep your left foot down and help your right leg turn out. You could reach around and grab that left leg. You could take that left leg straight. If your left leg is straight, you could also lean a little bit over to the left for a bit more sensation. And then we'll come back to center. Unwrap your legs. Keep your left leg tall. Right leg reaches long or stays bent. Option to move this leg a little bit. We're just letting you know we're keeping it safe. We're not taking it too far. Just as far as feels right. And then you can flex and point, see how that feels, how it changes the sensation. And then let your right leg bend, cross your left leg over it. Option to keep the foot down and just give your leg a little assist with your hand. I'm not forcing Just giving a little bit of pressure. Nice. Go ahead and reach through, grab that right leg. You could straighten it if you like. You could lean off to the right. You could find a stretch that feels best to you. Good. Come on back to center. Bring both knees into your chest and circle your legs one direction. A low back massage today. And we'll switch and go the other way. Good. Go ahead and bring your feet to the floor. Stretch out as tall as you can, fingertips to toes. And it might feel nice to walk your legs off to the right, move your arms over to the right and get that big stretch down the left side. But if staying just long and straight is better for you today, by all means, stay there. And then we'll walk legs back to center. Walk them over to the left. Bring your upper body over to the left. Let that right side body shine. Good. And then come on back to center. Find a comfortable position for you. We're going to do a little guided meditation to wrap up class today. You could lay in constructive rest with your feet on the floor and knees bent. You could lay on your back out long in Shavasana. Always a good yoga pose. You could come to sitting, or you could even lie on your belly. So this meditation is for our don't know mind, for our beginner's mind. And it's based loosely on a meditation by Jack Kornfield. It is designed to bring us together into a space of openness and receptivity to what is and what may be. So once you're settled, just allow your body to be held by the earth. Allow your body to be heavy. Allow your belly to be soft. And just let your breath be natural. If it feels good, you can close your eyes or you can just hold a soft gaze. Let your shoulders rest. Let them melt into the floor if you're lying down. And then whatever position you're in, just tilt your chin slightly forward, just a little bit down toward your chest. Notice the opening in the back of your neck and bring it back to center and turn your head gently side to side. And then come on back to center again, allowing your body to be heavy and your belly to be soft. Notice your breath in your body. And notice especially the pause at the top of the inhale and again at the bottom of the exhale. With each inhale, the diaphragm and pelvic floor drop, creating a vacuum and preparing the body to expand and welcome the incoming breath. Breathe in receptiveness and breathe in openness. Perhaps breathe out anything that no longer serves you. With each exhale, just release those things to the universe. Inhale and exhale. And now imagine a time 5 years in the future. Recognize that you do not know exactly what will happen then. Sit with the not knowing. Breathe into it and rest. There are so many things we don't know. Feel the truth of don't know mind. Recognize any discomfort, any anxiety or tension that it invokes. This don't know mind. Sit with it and breathe into it. And now bring to mind a conflict, inner or outer. Be aware of all the opinions and thoughts you have about how it should be, how it should resolve. And now recognize that you don't really know. Perhaps the wrong thing will lead to something better. You don't know. Sit with the not knowing. Settle into don't know mind and breathe. Feel it. Not sure. No fixed opinion. Receptive. Be receptive to the opportunities that lie ahead. Before we can set a new course, we have to let go of past steps and stumbles and prepare ourselves for future possibilities, just as we prepare our bodies to receive the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Before you move, I invite you to notice how your body would like to move. Perhaps you're needing some extra stretches or a little more stillness, just a few deep breaths. And then gently begin to move. And then when you're ready, gently turn on one side. There's no hurry. I left a little extra time here for us. And then when you're ready, without creating more tension in your body, use your arms to gently help yourself to sitting. Come up as gently as you can. Let's end with a breath together. So just one big inhale. Let it go. May we dwell in safety. May we be happy and healthy. May we be at peace. Namaste. Thank you for coming today. Let me know if you have any questions or comments or requests for next week.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you
you.
everyone for joining us today. Just
2 weeks
another
from now.
reminder. Yep, it'll be 2 weeks from today for Tuesday's class, but we will have class on Friday. So we'll see you hopefully then.